Hey y'all.
Welcome to Rum Punch and Beignets with your favorite Teedies, TDB and
TD Dime. We're here to give you our unfiltered opinions on current events and everyday life.
So sit back, relax with your favorite drink as we give you this
TD
realness. All right, y'all, we are back with another episode of
Rum Punch and Beignets
podcast, which is presented to you by Boot Crew Media. So before we go and kick things off, y'all know what we have to do. We have to talk about the Blue Mics. So Blue Mics help creators of all kinds find and raise their voices by making the coolest microphones and headphones on the planet. Here at Boot Crew Media, we use Blue Mics on every episode to bring you the professional sound you are hearing right now. So to learn more, make sure you check out bluemic.com.
You sounded so eloquent. Go ahead.
Thank you, girl. I be trying. All right, so before we I'm sorry, y'all. But diving into this episode, we are talking about music in New Orleans. And to help us do that, we brought two motherfucking legends, okay, in a motherfucking city. You know what I mean?
Bitch, I hate you.
Like, everybody should know these two people. If you don't, obviously you have not been out in these streets. You have not been partying. You haven't been on social media. You just haven't been anywhere.
I don't even think you've been listening to music the last like 15 years.
You
don't know who they are.
You're obviously living under a rock.
For real.
So, none other, we would like to introduce DJ Legatron Prime and DJ Raj Smoove. Welcome. Thank y'all for coming.
Thanks for having us.
I am so excited to have y'all. Like, I remember tons of parties, great times, drunken nights.
Yes.
It was always a vibe. Always a vibe.
Appreciate that.
Always a vibe. Yeah, welcome. Y'all have been influential on the music scene and here in the city for like years now, like we said before. Like you boo cool on because I
boo cool on.
Right. Like a whole vet in the
game.
like my OG,
like I remember hearing like on Wayne like mixtapes and stuff. The greatest DJ in the world. Like, yeah. I wanted to do that. That was so fun. Okay. Like y'all have both done like some amazing things to put the city on. And how did y'all get started DJing?
Raj, you want to go first?
Either one.
Sure. Let's see. I came up in the 80s and I saw a movie called Beat Street, and the hero in the movie was the DJ. And I thought that was kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like the main character, and he got the girl who was Radon Chong, who was like super cool in the 80s. So I was like, yo, like that's really kind of dope.
Right.
And then, for those of y'all who don't know, like I'm super tall. So, me being in junior high school and trying to dance at parties, like I was super lanky and goofy, which I still feel like that.
It didn't work for you. Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to do the kid and play kick step and all that, like it wasn't really, that wasn't my bag.
Right.
So, I kind of had in my mind, I was like, yo, like, if I'm going to be at the party, I got to have something to do. So I was kind of like, I could DJ. And then, coming up at that time, there was a lot like of amazing DJs at that time. And, me sitting down listening to Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. They had this joint on, he's the DJ, I'm the rapper, called Live in Union Square. They was like live in concert. Fresh Prince was out there. Y'all know him as Will Smith for all of the
all the
churns. You know what I'm saying? Will Smith, Red Table Talks, all that. Yeah, that's Jade and them Pops. But when he used to have a party going, he was like hyping up the crowd and everything. He was like, yo, my DJ Jazzy just gonna do something y'all never heard before. He's gonna hit y'all with the Transformer scratch. And Jeff just started scratching and bust that Transformer out, and everybody in the crowd was like, ah. And it was cold anyway, because coming up in the 80s, Transformers after his prime, like that was the thing. So I was like, yo, like that's cold. Like I could do that. And that was like my beginning inspiration. And then a little bit after that, somebody broke in my house and stole all my Nintendo tapes and my Nintendo, all my cartridges and all of that. But luckily, my parents had insurance. So when we got that check, I went and got me a DJ mixer. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of set it off.
bad. That's dope. That's
like
really dope.
Yeah.
Being a superhero in the room. You the one, you make the vibe for the whole scene. So like you really are the superhero.
Mm-hmm.
You save lives.
Yeah. Yup.
Save lives.
And sometimes y'all start fights.
Oh, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do
That's
that.
the alcohol.
That right. That ain't got nothing to do with us. That's the alcohol.
Nothing with the DJ.
That ain't got nothing to do with us.
Okay.
What
all
about
right.
you? What about you, Legs?
I started, how I got started in like 2012. I was at Southern. I was like a sophomore or something like that. And one of my homeboys, he had turntables. So I would always like pass him by, like if we hanging out or whatever. So I would always see him, and I would always like love music, been interested in music, but didn't know what to do in music outside of, singing, rapping, producing, that type of thing. Yeah. So I think one day we all kind of just linked up. I got drunk and I was just like, let me see what these do. So I was like, just show me a little 1, 2 or whatever. He basically showed me like the very basic things and just like left me in the room.
He said, go have fun.
He said, go. All right, bye. Bye. And I'm just there like with his little Newmark turntables or whatever and his laptop is fixed. And I'm just like, doing stuff, trying to figure shit out.
Right.
But like my friends just started coming in like one by one, like peeping their head through the door, like, that's you? That's you? That's you? And I'm like, guess I'm jamming because like, y'all keep asking, like, that's you? I'm just like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, you should DJ. And I'm like, I think I should. Absolutely. Like that ball kind of like clicked. So that was like how I started. And then I used my refund the next semester to get like a new laptop and like a $200 like little controller or whatever. And I started like working on mixes and stuff like that and YouTube and practicing. And then I started putting out mixes and,
Going up ever since?
Yeah, and then it went up.
Like literally went up.
Yeah.
I remember the year I saw you at Essence. I was working. I was doing like some journalism stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, look at this girl. Like, look at you.
Right.
Because I had seen you at Howell before. So I'm like, wow, she really, like at Essence, like that's big. Like on your own stage. And now you at Buku.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So with us talking about basically just blowing up, at what moment did you realize like you took that step back? You was like, man, I'm the shit. Like, I'm that person.
She really wanted to say, I'm that bitch. But
that bitch, that nigga, whatever.
Yeah, okay. All right.
You first, Legs.
I think like 2000, really and truly, like I have that moment all the time. Like it's like sometimes I'm so busy and I'm always working, so it's like I never really get to see it.
To actually be in the
moment,
like
I don't actually like get to like bask in it. Like, oh my God, this like I'm really like that nigga right now. I never really do that because I'm just so like just focused on working and keep going and going and going.
Right.
So it comes and it like goes. But like I think when recently when the Buku lineup came out, like, and I already knew I was doing Buku. I already knew I had signed my contracts, all this shit. I've been new.
Right.
But like when like the line, when everything like came out, like it was like official, I cried for like an hour. And I was just like, bitch, I'm proud of you. Bitch, you doing a good job. You doing a good job. Like, so I have my moments when things like that happen, then everybody is always so proud of me. And that's what really keep me going. I'm just like, oh, that baby.
Yeah.
Like, look at you. Look at you.
About to be on Raj level, like for real.
And I don't be believing it. And people like really be like, man, you like everywhere, like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, I just be working and just, trying to
stay
spread,
in your lane, right?
Trying to
keep your head down, minding your business, drinking your water.
And drinking my water, drinking my wine, creating these vibes,
Like,
making sure everybody's straight or whatever, they having a good time. That's what I do.
Right,
so,
right. Raj.
So let's see. The first time I figured out I was that bitch. I don't know, probably like 93. There used to be like these little underground, I don't want to call them underground, hip hop shows at Tower Records down in the French Quarter, which eventually turned into Peaches, and now I think it's like a clothing store, like right there.
I think it's Vans or something. Huh?
Yeah, something like that. It's right there on Peters, and you know, like there was these hip hop shows that would be there, and there was one we did in '93. I think it was like October or something, and I'm like, you know, I'm still in high school. I think I was like a junior at the time, and that was my first, I feel like, crowd of my peers where I was in there, like I had my little routine together during my cruise set. You know, I was going under the leg and doing my little thing. And, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Raj really cool. And I was like, I could do this. I'm really doing this. You know so, yeah, I think, you know.
That came early, like high school. That's what you was like. I'm that nigga.
Well, I started in junior high school, and like, you know, we was on, like, me and my crew, Psych Award. We did Jazz Fest in like 1992. Like I was a sophomore. We doubled back the next year in '93. We was on Congo Square stage. So like it was like real cool experiences. You know what I'm saying? To kind of like really be doing it. You know, getting a check and being on them types of stages. Right. It was like wow, like we can actually do this for real.
You had a reason to be that fucking nigga.
Yeah.
In high school already.
Junior high school. Like, I ain't fine. I was talented, so I was in college.
Well, yo, I mean, I always bring up this story too. Like, you know, I started early on 8th grade. In 9th grade, I did a party for one of my friends. She used to live across the hall from me in Georgetown. She turned 13. She was going to Fantasy Williams, and I did her 13th birthday party, and I felt like I was rocking it. But then the next year, some chick who went to school with her at Fantasy was like, "Oh, you DJ Karma party?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "I heard you can't DJ." I was like,
"I know you lying."
Lord. Like, who told you that? Like, I know I can get down, but real talk, like that was like, you know, like the first lesson that I got, and I learned it well from just the crowd response. Like, yo, like. Everybody don't want to hear what you want to hear.
This is
You
true.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like we was super backpack, you know, in high school, Brand Nubian, Tribe Called Quest,
right?
All that. So I'm in there jumping, you know, dropping all the backpack. You know what I'm saying? That's when like Bounce first, you know, kind of like had, you know, really started hitting the scene. And, you know, but just in my mind, I'm like, yo, this is some dope shit that I need to play. And everybody likes the same stuff I like. And I learned early, like, that's not the case. That's not the case. So from that point on, I was like, yo, I got to figure out what my crowd want to hear. And that's what I got to rock. And that served me well for the last 30 years.
Right.
Wow. 30 years.
That's crazy. And then the fact that you've done like a lot of shit. I still remember the picture of you in the same room DJing with Stevie Wonder. So I was like, whoa.
The video that makes his rounds every year. That video makes his rounds.
Man, put some respect on that man there.
And it's crazy. It happened like 7 years ago.
It don't matter.
People don't even know how old that video is.
People really don't though.
But that's crazy. Like that.
I gave it at least 5 because I shared it this year. I know I did. I've been sharing it the last 2 years. And I really thought it was like at least 5 years ago.
But that's like crazy.
2013 or something that happened.
Dang.
That's wild. Jeez. And you probably still doing amazing things as far as like still meeting people. I mean, I know the pandemic just, you know, it didn't go nowhere, but it's subsiding a little bit, trying to open back up. But I know you still have some other things, or you probably got some other stories that you have not shared just yet. Some crazy stories, some wild things.
And we want to hear it.
Exactly. Because I knew.
I don't know. Like I'm kind of the boring one, you know what I'm saying? Because like it's always been a career for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a lot of people, they go to the party, you know, they trying to have fun, which I enjoy myself, but like I'm not there to kick back and relax. Like I'm there like, yo, like
I'm here to work.
I'm on the job. Like I gotta rock this crowd. I'm on the clock. Like I need everybody to leave here and be like, yo, that was the greatest party I've ever been to in my life.
Right.
So I've always been like laser. So all of the, you know, all of the fans, all of the super like stars and stuff being around that, like I've always tried to not get involved in any of that. And like Lex said, like, you know, keeping your head down and just staying on focus on this is what I need to do, you know, because the lights and all of that stuff get turned off. You know what I'm saying? But as long as you kind of like stay focused on like, you know, I'm here to accomplish something and to share my talent. As long as you kind of stay focused on that, you know, you're able to kind of stay in it. So that's, you know, I don't have too many wild, crazy stories.
Man said I be working. I don't know what them people be doing, but I be working.
Look, we just heard the gems, the keys to like longevity.
Exactly. And I hope y'all pick that up.
Yeah.
Pick up the pieces.
Yes.
Leave them crumbs.
Yes.
But okay, so I mean, you got to have a list of people that probably just came up to you and was like, man, you rocking this shit right now. Like you that nigga. Outside of Stevie Wonder, you know, just chilling on the side. Outside of Wayne, who else? Like,
I'm gonna keep it 100% real. Like, I don't care about the superstars. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the regular people that's in the party that make the party. Because the stars come there, they on the job too.
Just
They coming there to be seen, and you know they're probably getting paid to be there to expound their brand. Like, it's like what really makes me feel good is like the folks like that. I did their wedding, or I did their brother's birthday, or their cousins, whatever, back in the gym. And like, yo, like, or the folks that was in college that was coming to House of Blues or on Freshman Street, like way back in the G, or even at Dreams, wherever it was. Like, yo, like, we used to come every weekend. Like, that was just the greatest times of our life. Like, that's what makes me feel accomplished, because like, yo, like, I was able to supply the soundtrack to
a lot of people
one of the happiest times of your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had an impact on people.
For it.
Right.
So grateful for it. It's that's how I feel. Like, I don't really dibble and dabble with like too many celebrities or whatever, because I be with the people.
Right.
And that's like really what I care about, is like the people, because they the people who always gonna be there.
Right. They're gonna make sure that you are still getting that check.
It's always like those people.
Right.
The stars will come. You know, they'll pronounce your name wrong.
Right.
They ain't gonna remember you the next time they see you.
Won't remember you. None of that. Like, so, but the people, like, they will remember you.
Yep. I'm coming every week. Rain, shine, snow.
I'm here every week. Like,
just because they're gonna be at the party. Mm-hmm. Yes.
But what do y'all think about like the music scene in New Orleans, like currently? Like, what do y'all think?
For me, it's budding. I feel like there's a lot of talent that's getting recognition in the way that it should. Like, when I was like popping up on the scene, before I was like DJ Legatron Prime, I was just like the girl who was always at the showcases. I was usually like, it'd be me and like two other chicks that's always at all of the hip hop shows, showcases, open mic, shit like that. So back then, like, we weren't getting like a lot of looks, like, but now everybody is kind of, they creating their own sounds and their own music, their own lane, and they getting a corporate bag off it, because I know a lot of artists doing corporate like type of music, or like they getting a lot of love and like XXL, like stuff like that, and they getting a lot of love from other artists. So I feel like our music scene right now is definitely in like this renaissance type of stage where people are, you know, the talent is being shown, because it's everywhere, and it always has been.
It's been there, and I am excited.
People been asleep, but now people starting to like kind of wake up. Like, that's New Orleans actually been that place.
Been popping.
Been popping.
It didn't stop with Cash Money.
It did not stop.
It
kept going. So
I heard somebody say something about, sorry to interrupt, I heard somebody say something about like bounce music came back. Bounce ain't went nowhere.
It really didn't.
Like,
bounce ain't go nowhere.
Get You Some came and they was like, oh, bounce
back.
I'm like, bounce ain't went nowhere. Like,
it's just the new anthem for right now.
Right.
But it's always been there. Like,
it's been there. Like, you go to parties, like, you know, your party. I remember one night we came to Three Keys and you was there. Bounce was on it. Like, bounce been. It's been.
Folks don't be paying attention.
Like,
I had somebody come up to me and was like, yo, like, I'm glad to see you DJing again. It's like, again, like, what are you talking about? Like, where have you been?
Where did I go? Where have I been?
I've been out here everywhere, even at the pandemic. Like, I was still DJing 3-4 times a week. Like, during the week. What you paying attention to?
Exactly.
So folks don't be paying attention. And I think, you know, with the New Orleans music scene now, I think technology has really allowed for a lot of people to be seen and get some visibility for their music. And I agree. We kind of at a renaissance, kind of a little bit at a new little tipping point that I feel we were kind of at like right before Katrina hit, because there was a lot of stuff that was popping in the city.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Cash Money and, was still doing their thing. No Limit had some stuff was kind of going on. I think Weeby had just had his little rocket boat joint with them. But you had like Six Shot was popping. The Squad was popping right before they broke up. And then, me and Dizzy had the Downtown record that was popping. New Orleans Most Wanted, Will and oh my God, he's gonna kill me. Will and Blake. Don't kill him. Will and Blake, had their stuff popping. The college scene was live. There was a lot of tours and stuff coming through the city. And, Six Shot, It's Your Dog, like that was going off around that time. And Katrina just kind of like put a damper on all of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now, that we have this kind of new crop of artists that, were much younger when Katrina hit, who are finally starting to find their voice and realize their talent. And now we have all of these different outlets, because now it's not controlled necessarily by all of the majors and the big corporations. Like, people can start their own podcasts, and then they have outlets through YouTube and all of these, StreamYard and all the other things. Or, anybody can shoot their own videos now. Like, I remember when you used to have, a quick $3,000-$5,000 to shoot any kind of video.
Yeah. All you need is an iPhone.
Any kind of music video.
Really?
The only thing you need is an iPhone.
An iPhone, a GoPro.
That's all you need.
Somebody got a Canon or one of them cameras that can get it a 4K or whatever, that can get it done.
Right.
So, I feel like the technology is a lot more accessible to these artists, to where they can get the content out. And the way that the media consumption game has changed, it also creates different platforms for folks to get out. So, the trick now is to get the money flowing from outside New Orleans to really start coming inside New Orleans. Because once that starts happening, you're going to see a whole lot of other businesses and stuff down here start popping up that really support the infrastructure of the music business, which we haven't necessarily had before.
Right.
New Orleans has kind of been based on it's music, but it's, performance, and it's for the tourists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's part of that tourism complex that, we have people coming down here and they want to go to the French Quarter and see jazz musicians and second line bands and all that type of stuff like that. But as far as like, contemporary, pop music, which is rap and everything else, there hasn't necessarily been the foundation for it here, because you need lawyers, you need public relations people. Like, there's a whole cast of careers that can exist if there is an economy for it to happen like that. And that's kind of like the next stage to happen from here.
I totally agree, because especially like you're saying, there's a whole new side of the industry that hasn't really been tapped into, that has that platform to be tapped into for us to continue to just soar and just we could be like New York, we could be like California, LA. We are that. We just don't have all of the resources necessary. Right. Yeah. But we about to get that. I can see that coming.
All we need is like three or four artists to have like nationwide hits.
Right.
And it's gonna be a whole different story, because everybody's gonna start sniffing around like, man, what's going on?
What's going on in New Orleans?
Who got such and such going on? And then it's gonna be a whole new day, and then we all can cash in.
Right.
Right. We can all cash in.
So who would you say right now in the music industry in New Orleans are like your top, like, if they were to get like the right type of backing, or even if they were just to get the right person to see them and pick them up, will actually be like just blow up and be one of the 3 artists to really tip the scale?
I think the whole little global warming camp right now kind of have about the best momentum. And I don't think it's not that one person has to see them.
Right.
It's all about, generating that fan base of followers that will trade you their hard-earned money for your talent.
Right.
So, I think gone are the days of, like getting discovered and, I was, Mary J. Blige singing in the mall, and then Puffy getting behind her. Now all of a sudden, she's Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
That
was a time.
You know what I'm saying? The business model is different now. You know what I'm saying, where it's kind of like you have to build up and prove that you can be profitable for yourself, and then these other institutions and companies will come in and try to invest and raise your platform up to where you can generate more income.
Right. And what I love, I'm glad you brought up Global Warming. What I love about them is like they're like almost like a superhero group, because a whole bunch of them came together,
and they're all talented.
Right, all talented.
Every single one of them.
They came together and they were like, you know what? We need to do this together. And if we do it together, we can create a big enough buzz. We can do everything we want to separately together, collab with one another and really just blow up. And I could definitely see that for them. Like,
that's totally the vibe I get.
Yeah,
they were at they did a show at Broad.
This past Saturday.
Yeah, like from watching, because I missed it. So like watching the videos, or just watching the one video that they've done. Like I love listening to them. Like it's fresh. It's not the typical New Orleans sound that most people think of. And that's probably what I like the most. And like that draws like a lot of people, not just us, but people outside of here. They can be commercial. They got it. They just need the right people behind them.
Yeah. Right. And shout out to Pell, because Pell put Global Warming together. And shout out to Nate and Pell, like the whole Global Warming team. That's my people. That's my family.
Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to y'all, because y'all doing that.
Y'all
shit.
did that.
Y'all did that. Y'all doing that. Y'all does that. Y'all know. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's up.
So what about you? Outside of Global Warming, you can
outside. Because look, I'll break it all down, because I know all of niggas, so it's like all of my favorite. Outside of Global Warming, Blue, which is my sister. Definitely Blue. Shout out to Spitter for having her on the Jet Life,
the mixtape run.
The Jet Life family recording. Shout out to Spitter, but Blue definitely. Who else? Treaty. I love Treaty. Love Treaty. Tatiana XL.
Yeah, love they sleep on her cheek.
Like every
that bitch is cold.
Oh, bro, and she be on other nigga songs, washing them like every time.
I love it.
I stand Treaty. I stand Tatiana. Stone Cold Jizzle. That's my nigga. Love Stone Cold. That's my dog. His new project that I run that all the time, like top to bottom. I just be riding around that bitch,
That's crazy.
I also want to talk, because you brought up Jet Life, saying with Currency, I think also part of this is we have to redefine what success looks like in the entertainment world.
Yes.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because it used to be people we just need a record deal and then we're gonna be on.
And you don't.
It's not about it's about having your business together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which like Currency has his business together. You know what I'm saying? He's developed a solid fan base. He's diversified into different avenues that generate income. You know what I'm saying? From from the gear and the clothes and all of that to him buying the Bud's broiler and something else the other day that I saw that him and Musa was doing. To me, that is what people need to look at this as entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? That it's not just I'm trying to be a star.
I'm trying to get a
be
deal.
famous. How is it that I can monetize my brand and use the music as an outlet to get these other things popping? Because all of those things create jobs. You know what I'm saying? I was out there on the Cash Money Rough Rider tour, and they had 4 buses full of buku New Orleans cats, you know what I'm saying, from the projects and from everywhere else that was out there, working, getting money, and able to feed their families off of money that didn't originate in New Orleans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, for them artists that, have the opportunity to pop, figuring out, how can I create some type of income for those folks around me? Because that, my mom used to always say, the rising, the tide raises all ships. You know what I'm saying? Rising tide raises all ships.
Right.
So, instead of I gotta go to, I gotta move away, or I gotta go and get with these people in Atlanta or New York or whatever. Like, yo, like, let's build it up here.
Exactly.
And let's get this popping so that, because it's a community. And I think that's one of the biggest things that, that I've been happy to see, is that the community of all the artists and the relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had
so many collabs.
Like Malik invited me, Malik 95, the producer, he came to my studio working with Pell. You know what I'm saying? Pell was by me recording. So, me and Malik have started to develop a relationship. He invited me to, he was doing like a little producer camp
for the kids.
Well, it wasn't for the kids. It was this like beat thing.
Oh, damn.
But they was by Abby's studio. You know what I'm saying? Like Abby.
Nah, man, because I didn't miss out.
But like Abby is like another producer, studio engineer. You know what I'm saying? He got a spot. And, like Abby was like, I didn't even know that was Abby's spot at the time. I was like, yo, Malik invited me, like I'm going. And, like Malik was like, yo, like, he was happy for me to come through his spot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's been by my studio before. And, that kind of camaraderie and genuine exuberance for each other's success.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of folks know, like, we got like a whole little DJ thread that we started, that we all be on, and it's extremely supportive. You know what I'm saying? Like, Cash be like, man, people don't stick together. Like, I don't want to hear those conversations because I don't have that experience.
Right. I don't know how that feels.
I feel like it's only certain people have that. And I feel like if they have that, it's because they're in that space. It's not because
it's not
everybody else. Yeah.
But that's the messaging though, kind of in the general things. Like, man, when you start doing this, like, niggas be hating. And I was like, yo, like, that's not what it actually is.
Right.
And also, a lot of artists just don't need to look at who's not and look at who is.
Right. Yes. That's a major thing. You can't worry about those little.
We be worrying about, oh, well, this person not supporting me, that person not supporting me, this group or whatever. Okay. So all right. So they not. Who is though?
Right. They got people that are. They got people that's actually paying attention and listening, that will pay that money, that will take that trip, that will support you.
Who will really support you wholeheartedly.
And that's who matters the most.
Right.
Exactly.
But that was a great leeway into this next ad I'm about to do, y'all. So, so I wanted to talk about the space. The space is a new co-working hub in the Lower Garden District that supports local entrepreneurs, creatives, and professionals. I love it too. It's Black owned.
Yes.
And given the past challenges in this year, the past year, we haven't been able to connect, network, or do the things that we're used to doing just to be able to expand our own business. So the space wants to welcome both local and traveling professionals and entrepreneurs to come work, meet, and create for your leisure. And then just come and meet with some of the city's startup owners, creative artists, and those are part of the community of trailblazing entrepreneurs. So to learn more about the space, make sure you visit thespacenola.com for their rates, for tours, just to find out what they have going on in the building. And again, it is Black owned. Support my girl.
Yes,
okay.
Black woman owned.
Yes.
Support the community.
Yes,
please.
support the community.
So y'all just dropped buku gems just then, right? So what are y'all's hopes for the future generations of musicians here in New Orleans?
Mine is that they stay true to themselves. Because in New Orleans, in my experience, I don't know how it is for anybody else, but in my experience growing up, it was hard to be like just you. You couldn't just be, you had to be like everybody else. So
they had the clicks.
Yeah, the clicks and like all of that. Like I've always been me.
Right.
I always been like a little bit weird, a little bit different, a little bit whatever. Like I'm not like a lot of people. So I just want for other artists, like just up and coming, whether you don't know what you want to do in music or whatever, find who you are. And if that's truly who you are, who you want to be with, or who you want to be, stick to it. Like, don't go start making music this type of way, and then you ain't seeing like, oh, ain't nobody fucking with it. I need to make music like this person or whatever. And it's not really you.
And you gotta force it.
Yeah, and
that's
then you
the worst
force
thing
it, and
you
you forcing it. That's really the worst, like the worst thing when you force some shit, and then especially when it don't work out, like you just wasted your time. You probably made yourself feel bad.
Exactly.
Because you're not being true to you.
When you could have been just developing your own skills, whatever you already know. Yeah. And just blossoming from there.
Yeah, and just being you regardless. Stand 10 toes down on it.
Right. Be authentic.
Be
T-Pain said it best. We got enough of everybody making the same music.
We
make
really
your own
shit.
Make your own shit. Please stop it.
Create your own shit. Create your own vibes. Like there's people out there that are like you. Even if you don't feel like there are people that's out there that's like you, that's wanting a certain sound or wanting to hear that, and they just not getting it because everybody is making the same stuff.
Right.
You just haven't met them yet.
So exactly.
You're supposed to be the voice for them so they can actually see, like, oh, wait, I'm not alone. I'm not by myself doing this. I'm not feeling this way by myself. Right. Or somebody do like the bop titty, whatever. Yeah. You know, like they like the little click clack. What? You know,
this is why she gets on my fucking nerves. Okay?
Shoulder word.
Right,
you know,
somebody might do the same thing.
I'm not the only one who still know how to skip. Like
exactly. What about you, Raj?
I want to see, the artists just have their business together. You know what I'm saying? Again, like the entrepreneurship shit. Just the business side, like having your intellectual property together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Being on top of your copyright and your publishing and your artist splits, writer splits, understanding how all of that works, because that's how you're able to eat later on down the line. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have a hit song right now, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna stay around forever, because somebody else is gonna end up having another hit song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you brought up Get You Some. Like how SZA got the hottest record out right now, but he's still eating off of some of his older records.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People sampling him. Right. People trying to matter of fact, T-Pain, he was on a remix of Ride That Dick Like a Soldier like a decade ago. Somebody sampled it and needed to get it cleared. Like, that's old catalog. So being able to eat off of that old catalog, gives you the opportunity to continue to work on new stuff that, you never know what's going to happen. Like SZA been doing it for like 15 years. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
He been making the whole shake for you.
He's still got, you know what I'm saying? Like he still got hits dropping that he coming out with. And, he has a one of those rare opportunities to really kind of take bounce to the next level and take bounce nationwide, because the label's been calling like, yo, like, like what's going on? Like we want to see what it could do. So, for all of the newer artists, please like register your songs, get affiliated with BMI. If you in the studio working with somebody, have that conversation like, yo, like, like let's get these percentages straight so we can get this registered, because even if it don't pop off right now, like you never know down the line.
5-10 years later, it might.
There's a lot of stuff like with the entertainment, with video games and movies and television shows. Like sometimes they just be looking for filler.
Right.
And if you happen to be in the right conversation with the right people, like, yo, I got material. The first thing was going to ask, like, yo, is everything clear? Because we don't need no suits. We don't need no type of other things going on. We want to make sure everything is easy to go. They will cut you a check if you have your business together.
That's true.
Yeah. That's like the situation with like Drake. Like that ain't even the sample he used. Like that ain't even a new song, and like people didn't know that.
Yeah, even with Beyonce.
Yeah, right. Yeah, their whole situation with Messi Maya, like with her using
his image and likeness. Well, not image and likeness, but his voice.
That's a clear example of not having the paperwork, the business straight. Because then, they trying to sue, and then Beyonce was like, well, I didn't see a problem. I didn't have no roadblock. Like, and you don't want to run into that.
I feel like there definitely needs to be some type of class, some type of something like workshop, a powwow, something like have people over your house for a cookout right quick so we can talk about it.
People don't show up.
They had something. They had something like a while ago. They had like something like that. I remember.
There was a thing with me, Weeby, Chasing Cash, Who else was on it? I'm forgetting who else was on this thing, but it was at the Jazz Market.
I remember because it was the creative something like it was during that time.
Yeah, and you know, my girl Ashley, you know, from the New Orleans, you know, Law Clinic or whatever, they work with a lot of musicians and stuff, and from the Ella Foundation, like they do, you know, help artists out, right?
Right.
And you know, the whole point of that was talking about, you know, IP, you know, having your copyrights, having your intellectual property together so you can monetize. And, you know, it was like 40 people in there. You know what I'm saying?
There should have definitely been more.
Like, yo, it's not that they don't necessarily advertise because they put the word out there, but you know, even when folks know what's going on, like they don't always
they feel like it's sketch
show up
or something.
Sometimes they just don't be having the motivation to show up. Right. They be like, oh well, whatever about it. You know, because people kind of be blasé, like.
And so, that's, I don't understand it.
Well, I'm saying like the Jazz and Heritage Foundation, like they do a lot of things. They sponsor a lot of stuff. You know, I'm involved with New Orleans Music Economy Initiative with Gino Inc. And they have things that, you know, is going on. There's different conferences that happen down here every year that have panels with people talking about it. With New Orleans Entrepreneur Week this year, there was a panel that they did, you know, it was all virtually, but there was a panel about IP in music. So, you know, I think now because of, again, like how media is consumed, there is a conscientious push to get people to know what's going on. So, you know, we're trying to get into programs, you know, starting in the colleges. You know, we've had conversations with, you know, Dillard and Loyola and UNO and all of them about trying to get some of this stuff into the curriculum. Right. So, you know, the cats can do it, but it needs to start early. Like it needs to be in high school. It needs to be in elementary. So it's like, yo, like if you putting a horn in the kids' hands so they can learn how to play,
make sure they know how to
you also need to have that conversation with them. Like, yo, if you create something, you own this and you can get paid for it. Right. So, you know, there's stuff in the works because it's kind of been neglected up to this point because, again, the money has been in tourism and all the old jazz, traditional, you know, Mardi Gras Indian stuff, which is a definite cornerstone of the culture of New Orleans. But there is so much money that's out there just floating, waiting to be, you know, pulled into the city. Folks just got to know how to take advantage of it. Right. You know, so it's going to happen. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna happen.
We hard head. We be late to the party. we really late to the party. We show up late we be stuck in our ways. Like, I'm just keep on dropping music on SoundCloud or whatever. Like no,
just giving it away. Just giving away.
Giving away your talent.
Please,
giving it away.
So I really hope that people are picking up all of this information because it's necessary. It's necessary to keep the city moving. It's necessary to with your growth. It's necessary to help music to continue to evolve and just be the best that it can be. Like New Orleans, real life, in my opinion, New Orleans should have been one of those cornerstone spots as far as when it came to music. Like we've started music from the start of music, basically. Like everything kind of just boiled here. Everything kind of came up from here and it just spread out. And people don't understand like what you're hearing now, it started already. We're just, you know, y'all just finding out. We done moved on to something else. Even though we're slow, like as a culture, we're slow movers, but we been innovating. We been started a whole bunch of shit. We just didn't know how to use it. We didn't know how to monetize it. We didn't know how to make it blossom the way it could have. But now we know. We waking up. We getting it together. I need y'all to make sure y'all get it together too.
We spreading that information. Spreading that information continuously.
Yes. So I know both of y'all are working. Both of y'all are doing things. What do you guys have like coming up? What's like on your plate that the people need to know? How can we see y'all? How can we learn from y'all? What is it that y'all are giving us?
Well, let's see. Every Sunday I do a little pool party at the Royal Sinesta from 2 to 6.
Okay, I like the swing.
No, likes me a little pool party. Hold on.
I didn't even know that.
It's something they doing. It's a little series, pool party series they doing on Sundays. That's running through September You can catch me at the Ace on the third Friday of every, well, I won't say every month because it's like this month, August and September, I'm playing like Waterseed, the band.
Ooh,
They're
I love them
doing,
too.
yeah, that's my people. They're doing an event there. They're performing, and then I'm like DJing after their set.
Hey,
and then probably, I guess October, I'll probably end up doing my, before pre-pandemic, I was doing like a fourth Friday over there or something like once a month. So that'll eventually probably kick back off. Shout out to DJ Rockaway.
Yeah. All right, Rockaway.
That boy got a real job.
And then I'm supposed to be on Fried Chicken Fest on Saturday.
Yes.
Coming up. I got a lot of random events, kind of starting to kick back off. Being in quarantine and being able to DJ from my studio and doing it the way that I wanted to do, I'm kind of a little apprehensive to get back into the typical club world. I don't know how Leg feels about it, but like it's not even a spoiled thing. It's just that
you got used to it.
I got
comfortable.
Pre-pandemic, like I had like my schedule was like hellified. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have like 3 or 4 gigs in a day, and like the weekends would be crazy, and getting in at 5 and waking up at 6, like it was kind of insane. You know what I'm saying? Oh, also, I'll be at the Saints games this year. So that's probably back on. I was furloughed for the 2020 season, but I got the call. We back on. Yes. But being able to kind of like be, like take a step back, take a breath, and be like, what is it that I want to do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was able to kind of curate the kind of, sets and, streams that I wanted to do. And I was able to work with, bands like Waterseed and my girl Karen Green.
Right,
and,
right.
Me and my homie D-Lo, we connected on the whole little Diamond Boat collection thing, clothing. I've been able to just be around people that I truly enjoy being around.
Right.
And there's a lot of foolishness that kind of comes with just the not the day-to-day, but the night-to-night club scene that is like, like, I don't want to deal with these people like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, to get in here and like I did a party a couple weekends ago, and it was kind of cool at first because the crowd was a little bit light, and I was able to kind of like, like just go in some different places and play some different type of music here and there. People was grooving and some things I want to hear. And then the turn up came, and I was like, like I'm not feeling none of this. You know what I'm saying?
Why am I here?
Because again, like, because I've been doing this for so long, and I'm gonna let I don't want to take too much leg time. I've been doing this for so long that I'm kind of like finally at the point where I feel like the music isn't for me anymore. You know what I'm saying? So while before, like I had to play what like I always felt like I had to play what the crowd wanted to hear, but I liked the music, even if it was a little bit kind of left field. It was still kind of like all right, this is enjoyable.
Right.
But now, like T-Pain said, like I don't need 10 of the same songs. And Leg could probably amen to this too. Like people like, man, you need to play such and such, which is supposed to be the hottest song out here. And then you play it, nobody dances.
It's crickets. People be looking at you like, and I'm like,
like y'all wanted a new.
I thought this was what was that?
Yeah, y'all wanted a new Little Refrigerator song, and I played Little Refrigerator.
And everybody looking at me crazy. Like I'm not doing my job.
Oh no! Like I remember one day I read your tweet, and you were like, "If y'all ask me to play Get You Some one more time, I'm gonna run it one more time."
They go off on Get You Some though.
They do.
Like it beat them.
But I didn't have some crowds that kind of was like. And I'm like, y'all know y'all like this song. Like I'm confused. What's going on right now? Like
y'all seen this every day all day.
We not fucking with this right now.
But all that like depressed ass, rap music that's kind of like out now with the slower, like super drugged down beats. Everybody like, like that's, man, we need to turn up, man, play that. And then you play it and the whole energy in the club just dies down. And it's like, I really feel like, it's just really not for me now. So it's more of a strain to be in those type of events where the folks think like I need to be listening to whatever the current thing on Spotify is right now, but that's not. I don't view that, and I haven't experienced that as being a party.
Right.
So. That's my diatribe on that. I'm gonna pass it over to
We appreciate that. You did that.
See, I work in the club, so well, every third Friday I'll be at Hi Ho from 10 to 2. Every Saturday at the Dragon's Den, prime time upstairs per usual, 11 until 3:30 until I kick y'all out when I get tired. What else do I have coming up? Boogle Fest. I have another festival in October that's gonna be out of town. I can't announce it yet, but
ooh, come on, you gotta travel.
Yeah, a little travel bag, traveling and shit. I am doing a pool party on the 24th. I'm gonna post a flyer sometime soon. I'm doing a pool party on the 24th. What else? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, where my girls at with me and DJ Jess on the 23rd of this month, and then we're gonna go back to every second Friday. And I think that might be like.
I feel like that's not it.
I feel like it's not it, but
we'll take that.
I mean, look, like this pandemic made me so lazy, dog. Like I be forgetting to put stuff in my calendar, and that's what I be on. I used to be on it. Like anytime I get anything, I go on my calendar, put it in my calendar, or whatever. And if they don't pay their deposit, then I delete it. But it's like I just been out here just free balling it. Like, just I don't know. Whenever y'all send me the flyer, that's when I remember.
You got to do better.
My office. My office. I need a secretary or something. That's why I took a vacation so I could like get back
life
on
in order.
Yeah, get my life back in order.
I understand. I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, working in clubs. Well, now I feel like now that we're back open, that in the clubs. Well, I'm trying to see how I can put this. People want to hear. Well, I've always been a person. If I want to hear a song, if I want to play a song, I'm gonna play it.
Right.
If you don't like it, then you don't like it. That's your that's your prerogative. Like you're gonna get these jams regardless.
Right.
Like you're gonna get them, sweetie. I'm sorry.
You either gonna jam with it or you gonna stand on the wall.
Are you gonna stand on the wall? And I tell people all the time, get on mic. If you don't like it, they got downstairs too. Like, like you don't have to be up here taking up space when somebody else could be up here getting their life.
Exactly.
But I think now what I'm realizing in like the Dragons Den now is that people are a little bit more open-minded. Mm-hmm. So they were a little bit more willing to kind of just listen.
I feel like they were tired of being stuck in the house. So
they was tired of being at home. So whatever you play,
all right, I'm a dance.
We're gonna play it
because we back outside.
We back outside.
I'm gonna find a groove.
Right. I'm gonna find something to be satisfied with or whatever, But yeah, and being in the clubs is still like a process for me because I've been like every week, and it's just grown more and more. And usually, like before the pandemic, if I would start at like 11, the club would probably be filled by like 12:30. Now they open the doors at 11. By 11:15, packed. And I'm like, I ain't even warm up yet. Like y'all still getting like my little jam session real quick. Like I didn't know y'all was about to come in. They be lit. So is that consistency of always having like a crowd that like they ready, they're willing, they're eager, so they're willing to stay. And I've been having a good time with the people at the Dragon's Den. I haven't been getting annoyed or whatever. I still like make sure like they don't come up to me, try to talk to me. Don't
you need to just have like some rules or like
I be feeling like I'm in, all like my friends be there or whatever, but sometimes people be getting through and like if people be trying to talk to you and I'm like, bro, stop. Because I'm working. I'm at work, bro. I'm at work. Can you not? Let me do my job. Like, you want to play this? You going to play that? Like, bro, it's 11:30. Why are you asking for bounce right now? Like, we just getting warmed up.
Do I come to your job and say,
right, do I tell you? Do I tell you what to do? do at your job? Please. No, don't tell me what to do at mine. Because you get paid to do your job. I'm getting paid to do mine. I'm here for a reason. Just trust the DJ.
Trust the DJ.
Trust the process. Just be here. We're going on a journey. You're going to have the time of your life. I promise you. But just pipe all that down. Just wait. Be patient.
See, I'm glad when I be walking through and you be working, I be like, right the hell on
exactly. And a lot of people who know me know that about me. Like, just, hey, how you doing? All right. I see you. Like, we here, like, bet. But people be trying to hold whole conversations with me and stuff. I'm just like,
and just be like, bitch,
first, it's loud. It's loud.
One, I can't hear you all that well. I can't. I'm sorry. Like, I've been doing this. So, I mean, I had one bad experience at a Republic in my ear pop. So I'm like, I really can't hear that well. I'm sorry. And I'm not even really trying to read your lips. So
you need that on a mask anyway.
Right.
And then they be all in your face with no mask. You just like, bitch, move.
And now I'm on the stage now because of COVID. Like I'm never liked being like on the stage. I always used to like being on the floor, like in the crowd, like in the corner, But now I'm just like, shit. I'm about to get up on the stage. I'm putting up all kind of shit. Like, just don't come up here, at all. Just if you come briefly and then leave.
Exactly.
Peace out.
Go inside.
But people have been really, really good with receiving, I guess, the music. And the music that I want to play and the music that I know that they want to hear. But I don't like all that sad, druggy music and stuff like that. I say that if I even play it, I save it for like 3 o'clock. Like, when everybody fucked up. Like,
this is your time to go home.
This is going home music. Like, you ask for Ride Wave, you might want to stay until 3:25. Because that's and you might not even get it. Because at 3:25, I'm probably like in my own little jam session trying to kick y'all out playing the shit that I like.
Right. Like, bitch, you drunk. You probably don't even know
you drunk. You're not. You're right. You ain't even really here right now.
Just go ahead.
Go ahead.
First of all, I gotta say thank you again because y'all really dropped a lot of jewels. Y'all had a good time with us. Y'all laughed, Kiki, did a 1-2.
That 1-2.
We did really good with like interview questions. Like, we was mad professional.
I guess. I tried to act like I did something.
I would give y'all a good Yelp review.
Oh, thank you. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Make sure that y'all plug yourselves on social media because the people are not, they're gonna listen, but they're not gonna remember what y'all said about where y'all gonna be at. So at least just plug that, and that way we can plug it on our stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
IG, Twitter, whatever y'all got.
Legatron Prime on pretty much everything. Instagram, Twitter. If you don't really want to know me personally, don't follow me on Twitter. Disclaimer. Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud. All of those. Legatron Prime. You can do a quick little Google search and all the stuff will come up to
you. Heard that she said Google search. Google is your friend.
Google is your friend. Google is
you got a question? Google
it.
Can't find something? Google it. Raj,
y'all can find me at Raj Smoove everywhere. RAJ SMOOVE. Public service announcement because a lot of people, I don't know why, but they always be like, "Yo, Rob, what's up, Rob Smoove." Like, yo, it's Raj RHA. Because like I kind of got to the point where it's like in the moment, like I'm not gonna correct you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know folks like they mean well.
Yeah.
I don't want you to feel embarrassed because you've been calling me Rob for the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, you be on Rob. Flyers and it's like Rob ROBRAJ. But people be peopling.
Don't know. Like,
people be peopling.
People be peopling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They be doing their own thing.
They don't have like great comprehension or hearing skills, so they saw R. They
reading
thought it was
is
a
not
B,
fundamental.
so they heard Raj and they thought it was Rob. It went too fast. That's what it was.
It's all love though. I'm just like if anybody hears this that's been calling me Rob for the last umpteenth 100,000 times. You could just very quietly and gently just start saying Raj.
Just start sneaking it in.
It's all good.
Just start sneaking it in.
Practice at home in the mirror.
Raj. Not Rob. Raj.
Bitch, I'm weak. I'm tired of y'all.
But these are facts. These are tips for y'all at home.
Yeah.
Do it. Okay. People don't like you messing up their name. I know I get mad when people call me Brittany. It's Brittany, and then they misspell my name. Don't do that. Brittany, not Ney, not Anni.
Put some respect on that A. Brittany.
Brittany. Thank you. My mama spelled
syllables.
Thank you.
Syllables, baby. Syllables.
But for real, thank y'all again for stopping by and just, josing with us real quick for the midweek jose. Y'all know y'all can always catch us on Twitter and Instagram at RPB_podcast. You can catch our episode, this episode, and all previous episodes on any streaming platform as well as YouTube, y'all. We got videos now. Make sure y'all watch. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. We got anything else we need to say?
No.
Next time I come, I would like to request some actual beignets.
You know what? Like I told you, we gonna work on that.
I was told there would be punch and pie.
You know what? All we had was gum and wine. But we got you next time.
It's all good.
Be in vibes.
Be in vibes.
That's all we got. But yeah, we're gonna upgrade. We're trying to get it together, y'all. We've been on a long break and we just getting back into the swing of things. But make sure y'all tune into this one and everyone after. Make sure y'all go follow our people, the legends. Keep them in movement and rotation, and make sure you put some motherfucking respect on a goddamn name.
And put some tip in it. Put some tip
in there. Put some tip on my name.
Cash App, Venmo.
Cash App, Venmo. No, you cash.
Hell, Zelle.
Put it on quick pay.
Quick pay to me.
We take cash and check too.
Look, like you can write me out a check. Make sure you don't try to put a stop on that bitch when you leave.
Yes, but again, thank y'all for coming, and that's it, y'all. We out. Peace.